Every old Disney movie environment had a foreground, middle ground and background element. Hello, my name is Kerim and today I'm at the Bosna Springs and I want to paint this river landscape using gouache. I'm setting up my homemade sketch easel which you can mount on a camera tripod. Starting first with a pencil drawing, doing a very simple sketch of the composition. Using a small simple palette of 4 colors: ultramarine blue, dark green, mid yellow, burnt umber plus white. This is my brush set that I'm gonna use for this painting. 1 wide flat synthetic brush and 2 different sized round brushes. To get the high saturated color of the river, which is lit by the sun, you have to do a transparent underpainting first and then paint over the dark areas. I'm painting on a watercolor sketchbook. Gouache is an opaque watercolor medium which I really like to use. The Bosna Springs is a great place to breathe fresh air and relax. Covering the rest of the paper, the foliage, the tree, and the background. The background has a more cooler, darker green, because it is furthest away and because it's in the shadow. Everything what's further from the viewer away has a cooler tone. It's called an atmospheric perspective. Also a good example, when you watch a mountain landscape and the ones that are further away appears more cooler and lighter than the ones that are closer to the viewer. Now I'm mixing a darker tone for the foreground tree. It has this interesting shape which I really like. The spring of Bosna is located in Sarajevo, just below the mountain of Igman. This is where the river Bosna is formed and where it flows for 282 kilometers long. The light underpainting has dried and now I can paint the dark tones over. This is the shadow which is cast by the trees. The light is coming from the left. Adding more darker tones to the background trees. I'm still in the transparent stage of painting. On my way out there I had a bicycle accident. I scratched my knee and I hurted my right arm real bad. I couldn't concentrate on the painting because all what I thought was my arm which hurted so bad. So I decided to go home and finish the painting from there in the next day. Okay, my knee is wrapped and my arm is still hurting, but I want to finish the painting. I'm working from a photo reference that I took that day. First I want to add more details to the foreground tree, painting the shadow on the right side. Later I'm painting the tree bark texture, dark over light. I'm dry brushing it to get the effect. There are dead tree trunks lying on the ground to the right side. First painting the darker, the shadow color, then the lighter tone over. All Disney movies had painted their individual background elements from foreground to background on separate layers. Using a multiplane camera, they filmed all layers together to have the feeling of depth. The water is clear and it's flowing very slowly, and I want to freeze it for one moment and capture it with paint. I'm dry brushing it to get the texture of the river ground. Painting water on location like rivers or seas is a complex subject matter, because water is dynamic. In one hand it is transparent, and because of that you have to deal with everything what's underwater like rocks, etc. In the other hand you have to deal with the reflections on the surface. Painting the reflection of the foliage, which goes in a vertical direction. Then I paint the reflection of the blue sky and few details to the furthest part of the river. The river is close where I lived before and I swam in it few summers when I was a kid. Back in the day the place looked beautiful with all the trees and nature around you, but I went there a few months ago and they changed it because of the floods. It's all concrete now. I painted the foliage next to the tree first with a light tone, and now I'm adding the leaves with a darker tone because they are in the shadow cast by the tree. On the end I added few more light reflections. And this is the finished painting. Thank you for watching. I hope you liked this video. Please like, share and subscribe to see more, and I see you next time.